I got to the point in my career where it was like, okay, I was nose tackle, so all of a sudden, okay, Vince, I'm moving you to left end. Huh? Left end? Like, I didn't even practice.
A lot of space out
you
there,
know,
brother.
like,
Yeah, it's a lot of space.
But it just showed. It just spoke to me because it was like he has so much confidence in me because he knew I knew the ins and outs of the defense.
Yeah.
And he just had so much confidence in me. Like, hey, listen, go to left end. And I was like, okay. But in my mind, I'm like, I never fucking played.
You're swimming. Yeah, you're swimming out
Yeah,
there.
I'm like, man. So once I got out there, I'm like, oh man, this is easy. I got time. I have space. I see everything clear.
He can't anchor.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, man, I'm only gonna get this double team if this time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, like Bill.
BetMGM, new customers sign up and get the first get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if your first bet loses. Then check back for promotions like odd boosts, no sweat bets, and NBA and NHL second chance promos. All from the sportsbook born in Vegas. Just thanks a lot to BetMGM.
All right, a little background here. I'm psyched to have Vince Wilfork, but there's nobody more excited to have Vince Wilfork than Beau Allen.
I'm fucking stoked.
This is the nose god, right?
Yeah, the nose god.
This
Yeah.
is the OG of nose tackles
guy.
of our generation.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Vince.
Man, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys. Pretty pumped up.
Dude, we're psyched to have you. I think we know a lot of the same people, but we never really spent time, and we enjoy watching you play. And now, what are you, like 250 now, bro?
Man,
like,
I'm 280.
280?
I'm 280.
You
man.
wear it good.
Yeah, I'm 280. I played at about 360 true weight.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
So man, I'm like half the guy I was, and it feels good.
Does it feel good?
Man, it feels good. All my shirts used to be 4X and 3X.
You can't shop anywhere.
Yeah, like now I can go shop anywhere. Like,
Hell yeah.
Where we pull up, I can go grab me a 2X and I'm good.
Wear the skinny guy shit.
Yeah, skinny guys.
Designer
Yeah,
shit.
I'm not wearing skinny jeans though. I'm saying we're not doing that. But
Save that for me and Chris.
Yeah, no, that's his thing. But you know a lot about Super Bowl, man. I mean, how many did you win?
Two.
Two.
I won 2 and I lost 2. So
Yeah.
I know both sides of it. And losing sucks.
You won this one, man. I just picked up this shirt randomly.
Yes. That was my first one, my rookie year in 04.
Yeah.
We beat Philadelphia down in Jacksonville. And, you know, as a rookie, you win one because in college, my freshman year, I won a national championship, the Rose Bowl against Nebraska. So, you know, I win it in the NFL my first year. I'm like, oh, this is easy. Man. I'm going to roll these things out. And the next time I win one was 10 years later. So,
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And it's funny, my dad went and talked to, you know, a Raiders team or something like that, and he was telling me, I was like, what'd you tell him? He said, honestly, the biggest lesson I gave him was my second year in the league, we got to the Super Bowl, and I thought it was going to be like that the whole time. But you gotta seize that opportunity when you get it, because you don't know when it's coming back.
You never know. And, you know, being in New England, you know, you guys know, you played there. And, you know, for 2 decades, it was just like winning after winning. And then we always there. You know, we win the division and we got the first round bye. And it looked easy winning, you know. But getting to the big dance, that's for all the marbles. And I always tell people, if I'm getting there, I want to win it, because if I don't win it, I'm just like 31 other teams, no matter how you slice it. Loser.
Just had to work a month longer.
Exactly. So losing will suck, man. It sucked, but it is one of those things where, as a player, if you get here, you have to enjoy it. You know, you soak it all in, you take it all in from the time you know you're entering the Super Bowl, from that moment to the end of that Super Bowl. Just embrace it.
Yeah.
And I think in 07, when we went undefeated and we went and we lost, we never embraced that season at all. We didn't even embrace that Super Bowl. And I think that was the biggest learning point from that. And the next time we went, I remember having a conversation with Bill. I said, hey, listen, we have to be able to enjoy the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We have to be able to experience it. Let guys be happy and excited about it. I said, because 07 we didn't.
Right.
And Bill, he heard me, he listened to me, and that Super Bowl, we really embraced it. I mean, it was more relaxed. Our practice was good. It was relaxed, and he allowed us to be in the moment. And we walked away with an L, but that experience, I think that Super Bowl was the most important Super Bowl, winning or losing, to me, because that team was a solid team. And Bill, that's the first time I saw Bill kind of like not be old Bill.
Yeah.
You know, he was smiling, he was happy, and things went smoothly, and things ran smoothly. So that's why I tell guys, man, if you get there, just enjoy the moment and be excited about it, because not a lot of people get here. You know, you have a lot of guys play for long years and never get a chance.
It goes by.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Before you know it,
I
you'll
barely remember
Yeah.
any of.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's just so much going on. Like, how do you, when you say enjoy the Super Bowl, like, what do you mean? Because there's so many distractions. There's media obligations. You're in a new city. There's
it's a
ticket
fine
requests.
line, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah, what do you do exactly? Like, what do you mean?
so my thing is we used to be so uptight. We can't do this. You can't do that. Don't go here. Don't go there. And you have your family with you.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden your family here, you can't spend any time at the Super Bowl with your family. You can't take the pictures. You can't go visit some of these little places and stuff like that there. So when I say embrace it, I mean it's take it all in, because those are memorable moments. When you look back 10, 15, 20 years and you can show pictures, and, you know, if you have kids, your kids was just born or a couple of years old, and all of a sudden they teenagers now, they look back at them like, oh, I remember when we did this. Or I remember that, how it make you feel and your family. So your family don't play.
Yeah.
You know, your family. So I wanted to be able to have my families experience something just as much as I experienced. So they have an experience like, okay, I know what Super Bowl is all about. And that's what I mean by experiencing, just being able to involve your family in a lot of things that goes on, and just being in the moment and understanding, soaking it all in, and being at the stadium and doing this and doing that. That's what I mean by embracing it.
What I wanted to ask you, one of the things I was most interested in, by the time I was in the Super Bowl, you know, the world was so small. Cell phones, camera phones, you know, curfews.
Yeah, man.
You know, the whole thing. And
check.
you know, you're there to play football, but there are some younger guys on the team, and you were younger when you went to your first one, but you were also a captain when you went to the ones later.
Right.
And I kind of wonder, back in the day, not the back in the day you, but like, was it different where guys could get out and kind of enjoy the city a little bit more? And how incumbent upon you was it as a captain to kind of police what guys were doing after hours?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's like you have to play big brother, you have to play daddy, you have to play coach. And it was just making sure everybody was on the same page and never forget why we're here.
Yeah.
Enjoy it and experience it, but no missed curfews. Be a man at night, be one in the morning. You know, so if you go out, you have a few drinks and everything, be ready to roll tomorrow. You know, and that was my thing. And my teammates respected me enough where I'm not going to talk to you like a child. I'm gonna handle you like an adult, like as a professional. Your leader too. You know, you guys. Hey, this is what we need to be here for. Have fun. I'm not saying that, but when you come back in the building tomorrow, be ready to work. And it was just all a respect and being a professional. And I think guys related to that more than me being a drill sergeant, like a coach all the time.
Yeah.
You know, just talk to people like we're adults. We're professionals. You're not in college anymore. I'm not going to hold your hand. I know you have a family. I know you married. I know you have kids. Enjoy it. But when you step back in here, when we have to work, we work.
Yeah.
And we had no problems like that. And even when I was a rookie, you know, I used to hang out with old guys, old heads. So I couldn't get in no trouble.
Yeah.
Because I was always gravitated towards the older heads. And I remember Keith Trella. That was a guy. Because, you know, you get cars, you know. And he was one of the guys that he was a nose tackle. He came there my rookie year. So we both learned nose tackle at the same time. But everything that I did with him.
Yeah.
And he took me up under his wing, and we rode around. You know, we stopped. We had a few drinks. We had a good time. That was like my mentor as a professional. And that's why I tell guys, get like a little buddy system, man. Follow these veterans who've been around. Understand how they handle the stuff. And we never had a problem.
See, that to me is one of the biggest things the NFL is missing now. Not that there aren't vets, but with the CBA the way it went, the older guys are gone.
Yeah.
You know, in numbers the way they used to be. I can remember when I was a rookie, I had James Hall, Leonard Little, you know, Fred Robbins my second year.
Yes.
Leroy Glover. You want to talk about
Yep.
a real vet? He was out there in a Gucci belt.
Yeah.
He had a Copenhagen, and he was swimming people and ripping them.
Oh yeah, in the mall.
Yeah, no. But I mean, it was great having older guys like that, and I feel like today I feel not sorry for the younger guys, but not having that vet experience.
Yeah, and I agree with you because it's nothing like when I got to New England. You have to understand, I had Mike Vrabel, I had Willie McGinnis, I had Rodney Harrison, you know, Corey Dillon. I had those type of guys that, you know, Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah,
I had those guys. So it's like, show me how to be a professional.
yeah,
you know, and they talked to me. They never treated me like a rookie.
yeah.
And that's one thing I always love because even at UM, we didn't do that. Like once you hear your brotherhood, so we're going to treat you like the same. And that's exactly what happened with those guys. And if I effed up, they'll tell me.
Yeah.
You know, they'll tell me right away. But I agree with you. In this day and age, it's like it's less of those type guys that have been around the game for 13, 14, 15 years in a locker room or 10 years in a locker room. It's less of that where a lot of guys can. And then if you have that, it's like they never won anything. They coming from crappy teams. They don't know what it takes to win. So, but with us, we had a lot of guys with a lot of experience that won some football, that got a name for themselves, very well respected. So it's easy for me to follow that guy because he did it.
Yeah.
You know, he did it. So I agree 110% that that is what's lacking. And eventually they can get back so they can start experiencing, understanding like this is a business.
Yeah.
You have to be a professional. You know, you're not going to class anymore. And the coach ain't going to tell you, did you do schoolwork today? No, we're not going to tell you what to do on your off time. Mm-hmm. You have to understand and learn how to be a professional and do it at a high level.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, you will be replaced. Yeah. Simple as that. And if we can get back to there where guys start understanding that, we'll have less trouble. We'll have less problem in the league. The guys can stay protected. They can just understand. But now with all the social media and all that stuff, I just feel it's more – football is second nature. It's like second to playing the game.
They also have a lot more challenges now.
You know, they have a lot of distractions.
Yeah.
That phone,
Yeah.
that social, it's a big distraction.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest problems.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Have you thought about getting a flip phone? Because I have.
Man, look at I want to throw my iPhone
Bro,
away
me
so
too.
man,
There's
I
not
hate
a day.
it.
I have a pond in the back of my house, and I stare at it every day. Like that motherfucker's going to the pond eventually.
I want to get rid of. Get me the old flip. You know, I don't want to see anything like.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest difference from when we came in, when we played, and now because it's so many more technology and technology savvy, and guys want to take pictures, want to have
branding.
Other things. Yeah, like taking pictures of themselves. I'm like, look, man, look,
Yeah.
we here to play football.
And that wouldn't have flown.
No, we're not
When
doing
I was
that.
in New England, they had a rule, and you too. No taking pictures in the facility.
Never.
No.
I remember we had a rookie come in, took a picture in front of the Gillette sign, and they had him in the office the next day. Like,
Just that quick, but that's why we were so successful, because we put football first. A lot of these teams don't put football first. They so lenient because of social media now, and they let guys do that, man.
I feel like with the Super Bowl, like we're here doing all these media events this week. We have a podcast, Chris, but it's like you forget there's a game.
Yeah.
The biggest game of the season.
And if you're a player, you better not. And so I wonder the Super Bowl on his shirt. That's the one that interests me, because this week at Inside the NFL, actually last week, Bill rolled a video of his pregame speech the night before y'all played Philly. And I don't know if you remember this, but Philly had not leaked. They put it in the papers. This is going to be our parade route. Do you remember that mean?
No, I don't.
And you know what's so funny? Bill asked us this week, he's like, what do you guys remember about Super Bowl week? Coach, I don't even remember what the fuck you said.
Yeah. I don't.
It's just a blur.
Yeah, I don't.
But the video was crazy because he sat there and read Philly's parade route to you guys the night before the game. And he's like, and then we're going to be going down Broad Street, and they're going to have a flyover if you're into that. And of course, in Bill's sarcastic tone.
Yeah.
But I kind of wonder what was the dynamic going into that Super Bowl, because at this point, you guys weren't a dynasty yet.
No. No. That was my rookie year, so all I remember was McNabb and T.O. T.O. was hurt. We didn't know if he was going to play or not, but Bill was like, look, the fucking guy is playing. I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
he's playing.
were y'all surprised?
Yeah, no, we weren't surprised.
Not surprised.
Like Bill, like, hey, this guy's playing. So we prepared as if he was playing. And our philosophy was like, listen, he's going to get his. Like, that's just what it is. We're going to stop everything else. We're going to disrupt the pocket. We're going to slow the running game down. T.O. going to get his balls and his passes. But he said, if we just do these things, we will be okay. That's what it was. And he was right. T.O., he had a big game.
Yeah.
Because I remember we had, I forget, he was a rookie that came in with me starting at safety that game, and he was getting torched. And then we had Blue, we called him Blue, Randall Gay. He was our slot. So they'll put T.O. in the slot against a rookie. They game planned him really, really well. And it is what it was. But Bill, big thing was up front, we have to win the game. That was it, up front. And our guys up front, they ate. Richard Seymour and Vrabel, McGinnis, them guys, Taiwan, myself, Trella, we ate. But when it got to third down, like we come off the field.
Clock out.
Now here, Seymour knows that they getting at it,
I feel you, dude. Believe me.
So
We had a lot of high fives.
Yeah.
right. Good job.
See you on first
Thank you,
down.
bro.
Right.
Thank
But
you guys back out of here when they get the first down.
But they were,
yeah.
but that was our philosophy. Like, we're gonna beat them up front, and that's how we're gonna establish, and we're gonna win this game up front. So, and we stuck to the game plan.
Hell yeah.
We stuck to the game plan.
Do you remember McNabb puking?
Yeah.
In real time, you remember that whole thing?
Yes.
What were y'all saying?
We was like, what the? Yeah, because the clock was going. They had to, it was going, and I'm like, what the he's doing? Like, that's weird. The guys on the field, they just locked in, and I remember, our D-line and all those guys, they was like, we knew we had him then.
Yeah.
He's like, when we saw that, we knew we were just going to pour it on now.
Hell yeah.
And he just couldn't rebound back. It was just so much pressure. It was just so much to overcome.
You think it was Jacksonville cooking, or you think it was
I don't know
Jacksonville
what it was,
spirits?
but it wasn't good. It wasn't good at that point in time. It wasn't good,
Yeah.
So we always found a way, and you guys can contest to this. We always found a way in the critical moments to pull away.
Yeah.
And all that stuff is a credit to Bill having us prepared for those moments. Yeah. It's like, hey, it's going to come down to a play or two, And I remember Bill always told us, he's like, listen, when you're in the Super Bowl, there won't be a lot of mistakes made, because these two teams that got here, they earned the right to get here.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah. Right, because people talk a lot about Kansas City. Kansas City, they're spectacular in the way they do the little things.
The little things.
You know what I mean? And it's all those little moments in the game that you might not know is a big moment, but it's a fucking big moment.
Huge moment.
Right?
And it's all three phases.
And they're going to let you make the mistake.
Yeah. And they capitalize on your mistakes. And I lost 2 Super Bowls on not capitalizing on mistakes.
Right.
I lost 2 of them. And, it just goes to show you, when you do have an opportunity to capitalize, you have to. In that moment, you have to, because the team is just too good.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, we'll get it. Like, no, you won't. You won't get that possession back. You won't get that play back. And I think Bill always done a great job of preparing us for that. And that's why we won a lot of ball games.
There's nobody like him on details.
My gosh.
I mean, it's hard breaking a game down with him at inside. Like, I'm like, I definitely think he's looking at me like you didn't even fucking realize what the real thing was.
But he makes it simple, too. That's one thing I appreciate about Bill. Is like, I was on IR in New England. I always want to play in that scheme. And so I'm on IR. All I'm going to do, I was like, I'm just going to listen and soak up this scheme. And that's the thing, is like, he's forgotten more football than 99% of the entire world. And that's all the little details.
I'm still learning from him. It's crazy. And I've been out of the game for 5-6 years. That's why it's such a great opportunity to, like we were talking off camera.
Yeah.
Us haven't played for him, all of us. It's
you
a totally
guys.
different deal seeing him kind of like make the sausage. You know what I mean? Kind of talk about the scheme and And, as players, we would get the game plan, but I'm watching him make the game plan in meetings.
But it's different every week, too, with him. It's like it's such an evolving defense.
Dude, I would tell you, one of my biggest shocker in the NFL when I was a rookie, I remember this very, very, first game of the season, we played Indy. And I remember going into Indy, our defensive coordinator, Romeo Cornell, he said, the next 6 weeks, we will have different defense.
Yeah.
the next 6 weeks. We're gonna throw this out. We're gonna bring in something totally new for the first 6 weeks. And I'm like, hey, damn, that's pretty gangster. Like, man, you know, it's like, so every week it was just a different defense, different defense. So as I got older, I understood, you know, like what we were doing, because now teams can't really, they don't know what we're going to do and how they're going to match up with us and stuff like that there. And I just learned that as a young age, but that would just goes to show me the brilliant mind of Bill and Rack back then, understanding like, hey, we're going to take care of this game, but I'm letting you know right now, these next 6 weeks, these first 6 games, it's going to be something totally different.
No question.
And it was. I mean, it was. And we just rolled that stuff left and right. I mean, and it's like every week and we could tell teams coming in, they don't know how to adjust.
Even during the course of a game.
Yes. Man, me and Bill done drew up plays. I can't tell you how many times on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't tell you. It's like, Vince, you know, what do you got? I'll come to the sideline and I'll tell him, okay, it's either holding up or it's not, Bill, or they doing this.
Yeah.
And Bill like, okay, well, this is how we're going to do it. Blah, blah. You just tell such and such on this play, we're going to do this like this. I said, okay, no problem. Dude, we stole so many plays, just that.
But do you know how nice it is to have the head coach walk over to the D line and be able to
so much
adjust
faith in your
something,
players,
whether it's a
you
game.
But once he see he can trust you and you understand the game, he'll give you that luxury. And I think Bill, once he saw and learned that I was a student of the game as well, it was more he can do with me.
Yeah.
You know, and it was more, he's like, okay, Vince, well, we're going to move you here. Put such and such here because this is what they're doing, and we want them to do this. So wherever you move, they're going to run away. So we got this. Dude, we did that as countless of times.
Yeah.
I mean, countless of times. And it just goes to show you just how good Bill is. He's like, hey, listen, I don't need to involve all 11.
Yeah.
You two. You on the same page, you do this, and you'll be fine.
It also goes to show, and me and Beau have talked about this, but like people say the Patriot way, they think the team's doing the same thing every day. You just said it. I was always so impressed with the way they were able to be somebody different every week.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what makes it hard playing there
Yeah,
too, right?
man. Yes.
1 week you're in a 3, 1 week you're in a 4, 1 week I'm in a 9.
Right. You move around.
And more so in a 3 than a 9, unfortunately.
Exactly. And it was like, I got to the point in my career where it was like, okay, I was nose tackle, so all of a sudden, okay, Vince, I'm moving you to left end. Huh? Left end? Like, I didn't even practice.
A lot of space out
you
there.
know,
Brother.
like,
It's a lot of space.
But it just showed, it just spoke to me because it was like, he has so much confidence in me because he knew I knew the ins and outs of the defense.
Yeah.
And he just had so much confidence in me, like, hey, listen, go to left end. And I was like, okay. But in my mind, I'm like, I never fucking played this.
You're swimming. Yeah, you're swimming out
Yeah,
there.
I'm like, man. So once I got out there, I'm like, oh, man, this is easy. I got time. I have space. I see everything clear.
He can't anchor.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, man, I'm only going to get this double team if the time, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, man, like, damn, thank you, you know?
Hell yeah.
And from there, that's when he started mixing in some stuff. Okay, you're going to go here. We're going to play this. We're going to run this defense. You're going to be here. On this down, you're going to do it. If they shift, you got to jump. Man, I done so much stuff as a nose tackle, from flopping, from my right D end to the left D end, from I'm lined up at left D end. They got the YY over here, and then they jump up and shift where I got to jump up and shift with them. Like,
You've had to switch sides of the formation with the Y shifts.
yes,
That's
like I mean
hilarious.
against Baltimore.
We got to find that.
It was against Baltimore.
Yeah.
Like, man, I would, and then what people started doing was, okay, they'll do that, shift, put me there, and then they'll motion.
Yep.
Then I'm stuck.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
yep.
So now Bill say, okay, well, they gonna do that. We're gonna rip you.
Yeah.
We're gonna stunt you. We're gonna do this. Play it. So Bill always had a counter to anything that they had.
Yep.
And that was the luxury of the players he had between myself, Taiwan, Richard Seymour, Jarvis Green. Like, he knew he can do certain stuff with us that, you know, an average player he couldn't do because he just knew the type of ball players we were.
I want to talk about Richard Seymour for a second. I feel like,
He loves
I mean,
who doesn't love Richard
he
Seymour?
has to be the most complete D lineman in the history of the NFL.
Pretty unbelievable.
I mean,
Yeah,
what made him so great, man?
His size, first of all.
Yeah.
C played when he wanted to play. That's what it is. C would say, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to be his head in. That's what he was at. He'll come to the sideline. All of a sudden, I'm going to go beat his head in right quick. I'm going to hit him with this move, and I'm just going to beat his head in. Okay. And what's he do? He go beat his head in, and he'll jog off the field. He'll jog off the field like I told you, Yeah. But that's what made him so good because his size. He was 6'5" and 315 pounds, and he was just so long.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's such thing as a tall 6'5", but that motherfucker is a tall 6'5".
That dude, and he was long, and then now you're moving down in the wide 3. It's like, man, it was trouble.
Yeah.
So that's what made him so good because of his length, his size. There's so many things you can do with him. When he was a rookie, he played nose tackle, but when I got there, he was like, I'm never going back to nose tackle. I want my sacks.
He didn't want that smoke.
No, he was like, no, just keep me clean, big fella. Keep me clean, big fella. You do all of that. Just keep me clean. I'm this 3 or 4.
That's so funny.
And he's so country, he talk like that. And then me and Ty would be looking at him like, man, you tripping, like whatever. So me and Ty was the dirty work people.
Yeah.
Like, Bill throw us in there to go take up the triple teams and double teams, but we gonna leave C free.
Hell yeah.
We gonna keep him to the open side.
Yeah.
Only thing he gonna get is a fan, and he got a 1-on-1. You know what I mean? And then he'll line up on one side, and they break the huddle. He won't like it. Hey, Big V, switch with me, big fella.
The little politics.
Yeah, like, hey, switch with me, man. Switch with me.
I'll never forget me and Brandon Graham got in a fight over who had to rush over Tyron Smith. And, bro, they were about to snap the ball, and we're both lined up at left down in Dallas. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm sprinting over there like I'm in jet motion, trying to make the snap. It was like a game of chicken. I lost. But did he ever buy you dinner or something? Because I feel like he should have bought you dinner.
Man, look here.
Name his kid after you or something. Come on.
Man, look at Steve. Like, look at big fella. You good? We this is what we're gonna do. Yeah. You'll be all right.
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Because I was the youngin. I'm like, okay, well, you want me to go here? Okay.
Hell yeah.
And we go into the sideline, and I'll get cursed out. What the F you doing, Vince? What that? And Seau here just sit there and won't say nothing. And I'm like, son of a. You just let him just jump on.
Hey, when a guy's good.
Yeah.
It's really hard to argue with him.
I mean, Yeti was great. I got a Yeti bag. We had so many damn Yeti bags. We had, look at these Yeti green light. What do they call these?
That's a water bottle. We got tumblers.
Tumbler. That's the thing I'm always.
Flasks.
Yeah. Just Yeti is one of my favorite products, period, because like I'm on the river all the time, and that stuff is kind of the gold standard as far as keeping your stuff dry or keeping your stuff cold or I'm always using Yeti. So it's kind of a full circle moment to think that like, hey, at work, we're getting Yeti hookups, but the backpacks, the duffel bags, this summer's kayak trips are going to be better than ever. We got coolers, drinks will be cold. So join us with Yeti and get the gear that performs the best when it matters most. And the Airbnb was incredible, guys. I mean, it was just, like we walked in and, Buffalo was great, but this was even better, Matt. We were all blown away. Convenient location. It is the best Super Bowl city. I can't wait for next year in San Francisco after this one. If we're doing stuff with Airbnb, I know they're going to hook it up. If you're thinking about going on a trip somewhere, not only should you stay in an Airbnb, but you should consider becoming an Airbnb host. That's another thing. I always joke about, leaving town on a business trip like this and listing my house as an Airbnb and not telling my wife, and the people just show up and that sort of thing. But I'm kind of serious because you can make real money listing your house. Even your real estate can't help you with that. Only Airbnb can help you. Head to airbnb.com/host to find all the details.
And we got some grub, man. We got some grub in here. Yes, sir.
What we got here?
Thank you so much.
We've been throwing down all day out here. So we actually have a party rib out here. This
Okay.
Is with,
my
beer
God,
barrel aged hot sauce. We have bourbon barrel aged maple. Hit it up all in that
Goodness
Kingsford, a little bit of that
gracious.
Oakwood, super good. And then we have a southern style of slaw for you guys.
Okay.
This is got.
It's a rib.
Food. This is finger.
It's all right. I can really get in
What
it.
are you grabbing a dang on fork for, man? Just get in there. Let me see what you work.
Big man pod.
Golly, man.
So what's money about these ribs, by the way, I don't know what you guys know all about ribs, but you could smoke ribs all day. These grilled ribs are absolutely amazing. You can put a really nice bit of caramelization on them, elevate that inside, and then we just bring that sauce back over the top, over the fire, over and over, and just kind of keep layering. So
This is ridiculous. And for the people on camera, this is Dave and Casey. Superstars. They're hanging out with us all weekend. And Vince is here with Kingsford. How'd you get hooked up with Kingsford?
You know, when I tore my Achilles, I was so bored. And I said, what can I do? Because Achilles is nothing really you can do. You got to sit for 3 months and you can feel good, but they say don't test and all that. And I was feeling good, so I said, I need a hobby. So I end up welding for the first time.
No way.
For the first time.
Really?
Went and bought the kit in my garage welding. So I built this smoker. Right? No, it was terrible.
That's amazing. DIY.
It was terrible now. And you can look and see, okay, when I started realizing what I was doing, the weld looked different. But at the beginning I had holes at the bottom and it was just a mess. So I built it and I said, you know what? I'm ready to cook on it. So boom, I put it together and I put my music on.
you did just well. You made your own grill.
I made my own grill.
That's crazy.
My own smoker. I made this is how Kingsford came alive with me. And from that grill, with me playing the music and I was bent over, checking my ribs and I was dancing. And I was dancing to want to be a baller, shot caller, twins, right? So boom, I'm juking. I didn't know I was being filmed. So all of a sudden, boom, it's out. And the craziest thing is when I went to Houston, the song I was playing, he's a Houston guy, right? Mm-hmm. And Kingsford got in contact and say, hey, listen, we like the video. We want you to be a part of the team. Can we do some collab with you on something? And I said, absolutely, you know. And that's how our relationship started, all because of me welding a grill. That was a crappy grill, but hey, I was proud of it. Mm-hmm. And Kingsford seeing that and getting
help this guy out.
Yeah, he was like, hey, we're going to do this. And that's how that relationship was born, and it's been beautiful since then. You know, we've done a lot of stuff, and like I tell people all the time, and growing up, it's like when you go in the park or you're in the backyard, let's use the park. You go to the park and you have those grills that don't move, them big heavy grills, right? But you smell the aroma of Kingsford charcoal,
I was smelling
right?
it all day.
Right, you can smell it, right?
To eat this.
So it automatically takes me back when I was a kid, because that's how long I've been dealing with Kingsford. Like it's been in my family. My father was a big time grill guy, and it was always Kingsford, always Kingsford. So one thing that I love about it is it brings me to my childhood to be connected with something that is near and dear to my heart. Before I even knew what it was, my father had already had the Kingsford going and everything. But the one thing about it is I tell people, from the aroma, from smell, from taste, you name it. I don't care if you a professional, you a newbie, you the neighborhood chef.
Yeah.
When it comes to charcoal, there's no better brand than Kingsford Original. They are the champions of charcoal, and it brings me almost to tears just because of the history before I started with Kingsford, of what Kingsford meant to me and my family. The reason I love to cook and barbecue was because my father at a young age, that's all we did. And I can picture the bag. Kingsford bag sitting there, and this is little Vince, this is baby Vince, and that's why it's so sweet to me, because it's been in my family since I can know. So I wish my father was alive today so we can be sitting here talking about it, because it's pretty cool to be able to be partnering up with them doing something that I really truly love to do. And one thing about it is it brings people together. Cooking brings people together. Football and food, you can't go wrong there. So it's a match made in heaven for me to be linked up with Kingsford, and
I don't even need the football. I'll do the food.
I'm a food guy, so football it's okay. I played that, but now I love to cook. So and this is our go-to.
Isn't it cool the way the place of the game takes us?
Yeah.
Hey man, look here, it's amazing, and that's what it's all about, bringing everybody together. And you throw in football, can't go wrong.
There's some brand partnerships that I'm like, but this one makes a lot of damn sense.
Oh, this
man.
amazing. Trust me, like
This is amazing.
We get free ribs
this,
that are
this,
just made
yeah,
right from
yeah.
us.
Like
Phenomenal.
man, look here, and this
boy,
is
do
good.
we
About
need
as good
the
as it
fuel.
gets.
We might not be playing football, but we need the fuel for this week.
Oh yeah,
I'm about to be
out of all
360
weeks.
this week.
Out of all weeks, you need the fuel, and this right here came right on time. Oh yeah, man. Let me tell you something. I'm in my wheelhouse now. Now you're talking to me.
By the way, you get out there, you got to go to work.
Hey, hey, that's cool, man. Look here.
I'm saying it here. So
I'm gonna make an announcement right now. I have a hotel room about 10 minutes away. I'm not gonna fucking see that place.
Hey, Vince might stay with us all
Right? I might be like, hey, baby, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not doing nothing but sitting over here with the guys drinking and eating. That's it.
This is heaven, man. But we got a great setup, and this certainly completes the whole thing. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you,
very
guys.
much.
Thank
Really
you. Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
we can take those if you guys want. We have plenty more. When you
Yeah,
guys-
yeah.
Yeah.
My dumb ass didn't even know there were ribs at first. I started cutting them.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna attack everything
so much.
outside.
Really
I'm on
appreciate it.
camera. I'm trying to still be neat and all that, but trust me, when I get out there, it's on and popping.
There's debris here now.
Oh, we'll catch up with you guys.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
Thank you.
Hey, that was really fucking good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and got like a little bite. You
Can I
see
get water?
right now, it's like I got
Can I
a
get
little
water?
bite
Should I get a
at the end. I don't know what that bite is. It might be a little pepper or a little.
Man, that's
heat,
really good.
But that aftertaste.
You can
is like,
chef some shit up like this?
Yeah.
Get on the grill.
I get down. I get down.
When you get down.
I get down.
So, what's the most people you ever grilled for, you think? It's a lot of pressure. I feel like
Probably-
more under
probably
pressure when I have to grill than when I play.
I like to eat the food.
Like over 100. Like I have no, because you have to understand just my house alone. You know, it's 6 of us. The way I cook for 20 people.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know how to cook
overdoing it
small,
anyways.
you know, so
Yeah, I'll take agua.
So I'm used to cooking big meals, long time. I'm used to being up 24 hours cooking. I'm used to all of that. I get excited. Like,
Have
What's
you
the
buried a
go-to?
pig? Have you buried a pig before?
I've done that.
How it like? Give me a tip because I'm supposed to do it coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how deep are you going?
I don't know. I'm asking you because
Okay.
you're the fucking Kingsford
whole
grill
pig?
guy.
You don't got to go too deep, honestly.
So
but
like just 2-3 feet down there.
I would say at least get about 5 feet.
5 feet?
Okay, get enough 5 feet. Make sure you have your banana leaves though.
Banana leaves.
Yeah, banana
I did hear
leaves. Banana leaves for taco. Then come back again. Banana leaves for it. So you just layer it, and just layer it, and just layer it.
Yeah.
And you just let it go. And baby, and if you think you have enough season, over season. Yeah, over season the pork because it'll lose some throughout the time and the moisture and stuff. So over season it, and it's really easy.
How long a process are we talking?
Man, a whole pig,
Like 12 hours or something?
probably longer than that.
Like
depending how
18?
big- Depending on how big the
So it sounds the perfect thing because I can be like, hey babe, I got to go outside for 18 hours.
Oh yeah, you'll be there. You'll be there.
I got
for-
the pig depends on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just double check.
Hold it down.
Just hold it down. But once you got it in there and you going and you keep feeding the coals on top, you're
Yeah.
good. Like, it's pretty cool, man.
That's
just
awesome.
to understand different cultures, how they cook. Like, because in Hawaii, that's what they do. They bury.
Yeah.
And they cook. They down 18. Like, they dig. Like,
Hell yeah.
a little small hole. And they're deep, but they just layer. Now, that take a lot longer and stuff like that. But
Did you ever do a kava hour with any of your teammates? The kava?
I love that.
The kava.
Bro,
Yeah.
Kava Thursdays during OTAs. You know how like
oh, you talking about the drink?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That mud.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd finished a training camp practice in Humanauanui, who actually played for New England for a minute, tight end from Illinois. He'd have a whole Gatorade bucket
Yep.
full of that
I
stuff.
played with him.
You play with who, man?
Yep, I played
That's my
with
dog.
Who man. So they have, if you don't want to go on the ground, they have these boxes that you can buy for whole pigs, and you can do anything with it. But specifically for whole pigs.
Right.
And you put that joker in there, and you put the top on it, and the top is like aluminum or whatever, and that's where your coals go on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's like roasting. That's easier. You don't have to worry about the banana leaves and all that. Now, you could still wrap it in it if you want it, but like, man, because you could take it on and off and throw most seasoning and whatever.
I'm trying to go all out.
Hey, you have a barbecue. I'm
Go
coming,
out.
dude.
It's for my 40th. Maybe you come.
Oh,
together,
man.
So
You got to throw
40th.
that.
yeah, do it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 40. It's coming up. You don't think of me like that, do you?
No, you're youthful.
I'm youthful.
Youthful.
All right. Speaking of youthful,
Yes.
what was youthful Tom Brady like? Did you ever see young drunk Tom Brady?
Let me see. Hold on. I seen. Yes, yes, I did. And it was early on in my career,
early.
but it was. Tom was always private. Like Tom only hang around certain people and stuff. But I think I've seen him because we've done a derby. I've been there.
You've been to the derby with Tom.
him, man. There, so I get a chance to see the different side of him.
But he's so. One thing people had asked me about him, and I used to say, like, man, he'll talk to everybody on the team.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like every corner of the locker room. I can remember when I came in, he came up and introduced himself to me, like, hi, I'm Tom. Like, welcome. I'm like,
he's that type of person.
I'm like, I know you're Tom.
Yeah, he never.
Where's the training room?
But you know what? He never act like one of those bougie quarterbacks. You know.
Yeah, that's what made
He's
him,
a great team.
Yeah,
and he talked to, and I would see Tom. You know, rookies coming in, and they would have a jersey, and Tom would sit there and sign. He would never tell nobody no. Yeah. He don't care who you are. He don't care how long you've been in the league.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He would sit and he would sign for you and I'm like, you know what? That's a lot of kudos go to him because quarterback has a stigmatism to him where they a-holes.
Yeah.
But Tom, probably one of the greatest teammates I've had.
Dude, for who he was by the time I was in New England, he's already like put him in the Hall of Fame right away. Like I was talking to like a living legend, and he never acted too big for people.
Never.
You know? And he was the guy. You know, like how guys just hang out in the locker room until they're like the last one. He'd be sitting in there in his nice bathrobe,
right, with his legs crossed. With legs crossed. Yeah, just hanging out in his locker.
Just hanging out. Probably gonna be in the building another 3 hours afterwards. But what was it about him? Because like obviously he was talented, but he wasn't the most talented guy. Like, do you think it was all between the ears, or
100%?
It's
100% because he's not athletic.
Yeah,
we're not saying Tom can run. Like no, Tom can throw a football, and he's very smart. He knows where the ball needs to be. Yeah. He know how it needs to be there. He know how he need to get it there. And his work ethic. That's the thing I've always took away from him is Tom worked. Yeah. Tom worked like he was somebody that's coming to this job every year.
Yeah, paranoia.
I mean, he just would work. And he was so freaking competitive. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember one day we out there in camp and he betted. It might have been him and Vrabel or him and Rodney, one of those two, and they bet on 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. And you know how Bill is. It's situational. Boom, 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 boom. Right. So we get to the 2 minutes. Offense loses, right? So Tom pissed. So Vrabel and Rodney, they chirping at him, and they back and forth. So Tom was like, let's go again. Now, they betting money now.
Yeah.
Let's go again. So Bill let him go again. Now, this is just...
And everybody else...
No game plan.
Everybody else is like, we got to go again, too.
Yeah. We were pumped, though.
It was 2 minutes. Vince was on the sideline.
I was on the side. I'm like, I'm cool. Don't tap your head. Nah, you straight. You straight. Don't tap. Yeah. You're like, hey, give me some more Gatorade. Give me some more Gatorade. And they went in it again. Yeah. All right, offense and defense. Ones versus ones. Tom loses again. Run it back. So, dude, they did like 4 times. And Bill just sitting over there. You know how he twists his little whistle and just laughing and smiling. Because now Bill's hands off. He's like, listen here, we got done what we need to get done. We got our 2 minutes. So this is you, motherfucker. You know? And they just went again, and Tom lost again, and Bill finally shut it down. Tom was...
He would have gone till midnight.
Oh, yeah. He done threw his helmet. I mean, Tom, he was pissed. And, man, I just picture Rodney and Vrabel. They just chirping at it, and Tom's so pissed off. But as a team, to see that, and you just think about how Bill felt.
Yeah.
Bill was like, man, I don't have to do anything.
My boys have grown up.
Yeah, man, they competitive. I don't have to work. Like, Bill was a proud papa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's the type of excitement and what Tom brought to us. He brought it out of us, and we brought it out of him.
Yeah,
and even with Vrabel, it's like Vrabel would go on the scout team.
Yeah,
he would be Ed Reed, he would be Ray Lewis, whoever met, he would be that guy, and he would just go out there and test shit up. And him and Tom go back and forth, cursing each other out. And Tom be like, "Oh, he's not going to play that like that." And Brady was like, "Yes, the F he will. I will show you in the meeting." Woo, woo, woo. And then it's like two brothers. When it's over, they in the corner of the end zone talking to her, going over everything. Like they back cool. Yeah. So Tom like, "Now tell me what the hell." You know what I'm saying? So it was as a player to see your leaders.
Yeah.
Do all of that, be competitive, what it means to them to win.
Yeah.
It was easy for us to fall in line and follow that.
When most teams are trying to get off the field and get back in the locker room.
Man, we didn't care.
The year you guys went damn near undefeated, was there dissension in that last game between the guys, like on should we play guys or should we be trying to?
No, because funny thing is, so our last game of the regular season was against the Giants. And before that, we had just played Miami, and we beat Miami. And we went in. It was around Christmas time, so we went in the next week. We kept the same game plan. So Bill gave us time, for Christmas and all that stuff with the family. So we kept the same game plan from the week before, previous before. So we go to New York, and we play like we played, but we pull it out. All right. So now we in the Super Bowl. We like, oh, shit, we didn't even game plan for them, and we beat them. Like, man, look, we about to, So we like, man, we for the, and man, you know what happened, And I can honestly tell you, we didn't enjoy that Super Bowl.
Right.
That we didn't, because don't forget, we just coming off of Spygate.
Yeah.
That previous season, we just come because we didn't know we was going to have Bill as our head coach. So we had a lot of distraction all season.
Yeah.
So now. That was the hardest year of my career. We was in pass every week. Every week. I'm talking I remember going to captain's meeting and was like, "Hey, look, Bill, we need a break, man.
It's
like,
December.
These pads." And he was like, "I think about it." So it was like, okay. Go in the locker room, getting ready for, about to get ready for practice. Bill come in, and he came to me. He said, "Come over here with me." So he took me to the equipment room, and they had a sheet. This is Bill. They had a sheet of how many times we was in pads, okay? And then he went to go get Jim with his sheet. What was our injuries? We was the most healthiest team in the league when we were in pads.
Man, that's a tough argument to win, right?
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, God damn it.
And you know what? I feel like it still holds. Like
it still does.
Yeah.
Like there's a fine line.
It still does.
Like I feel like Detroit might have went too hard this year. Like with all the injuries they had. Like maybe that's a sign of that. Yeah. But then there's some teams that practice really hard and they don't lose anymore.
Yeah. Like, dude.
So you build a callus.
Yeah.
When he showed me that, I'm like, oh, I can't,
It's hard to argue with that.
I can't even say anything. And dude, we didn't miss a week.
Yeah.
Well, you were winning too.
Yeah, we were winning.
And
we were winning.
Cures all
that
wounds.
07, we never once enjoyed like our role. Like we never, even when we went to the Super Bowl, that was the worst practice. Those was the worst. Our worst practices of the year was Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
It was bad. I mean, Tom can throw a ball. I never seen Randall Ball drop a ball, hit his hands. I never seen Kevin Faulk drop a ball, hit his hands. Dropping balls. Defensively, we couldn't cover.
Just a bad vibe.
It was just terrible. The best thing happened to us in 07 was at the Super Bowl on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We met Jim Brown. Jim Brown came and talked to us.
Fucking loves you.
Yeah.
That was the best thing that happened to us.
Yeah.
And that day we had an okay practice.
Yeah.
But it was like, if we knew game was going to go the way we practiced, we knew we was walking in with an L.
Jim Brown's story, we had played Cleveland, beat the shit out of him in 16, and Bill, we pull out of the stadium, and he's like, pull the bus over. and the fucking, we all get out, like me, Jamie Collins, and it's like all posing with the Jim Brown statue. Like, there's like people walking around and shit. Like there's like fans walking around, and us motherfuckers, like the Super Bowl are standing outside that stadium in broad daylight. Yeah. But Bill gets giddy about Jim Brown like nobody else.
He loves
bro.
players.
Yeah. He loves players. You know who he fucking loved? Rodney Harrison.
Oh, yeah.
He still talks about Rodney Harrison every week, bro.
Yeah, Rodney was his guy. Like, Rodney was a great – you would have loved playing with Rodney.
Yeah.
Rodney he had a lineman heart.
He's,
a mean
like he
lineman.
wasn't a DB.
Yeah.
Nothing against DBs. I love Dev.
Yeah, but Rodney
I love
was
my
a different
guys,
breed.
but yeah.
Oh yeah, he was a different breed. But that was the best thing that happened to us in '07, meeting Jim Brown at the Super Bowl, and that game. It was like we were all. It was like we were stuck.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to feel.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot going on that year, you know, because we lost Marquise Hill that year.
Yeah.
We lost him, and some things went on there that didn't sit well with the team. We had a lot of baggage going into that game that didn't get fixed.
Right.
Yeah, it was just even down to where we were staying and how our families was being like, dude, when I tell you it was a freaking nightmare.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
What city was that in?
We was in Arizona.
Arizona. Tell Vince what we did the Super Bowl week when we were playing New England. When we went and practiced the stadium, do you remember what we were doing?
Bro,
I'll tell
I
you
barely
what we were
remember
doing.
that
Okay. I'll tell you what we were doing. We were running fake plays. We were doing our walkthrough at the fucking stadium in Minneapolis.
Yep.
And Doug had us running fake plays. He was so worried that somebody was up there with binoculars, like the Spygate shit.
Yeah.
It's like, bro.
It's and I gotta tell people, I'm like, listen, our captain of the ship come in and put a game plan together and say this is what we're gonna do. Okay, we don't question.
That's all I know.
So don't.
That's all I know.
Like we cheat. Like, man, look here, dude. He gave us a game plan. Our job is to execute this game plan he gave us, and we done.
Well,
Yeah, you're just in there grinding double team, bro.
It's like
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, get this triple team off of me. I'm okay.
It's like the Deflategate thing.
Yeah.
People make a big deal about that, but you know what they did in the second half when they fucking inflated the balls back? They beat the dog shit. They dog walked into
Like,
even worse.
But you know when you win, people try to find something, you know, and that's what it is in Kansas City now.
Yeah,
It's
with
like,
the refs. We're kind of
yeah, you know what I'm
Don't
saying?
even get Chris started on this, man.
No, so for 2 weeks, hey, here it is. For 2 weeks solid, I was defending Kansas City because I was like, I've done all the math, I've looked at it in the playoffs, and I come to this conclusion. I was like, the other people make stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
It's like when the Cincy guy knocks Mahomes out of bounds at the 50, and then they kick a game-winning field goal. It's 2 steps out of bounds.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want the fucking
Yeah.
officials to do? But then that Josh spot really got me this week. I had
Chris
some money on the
loves
Bills.
Josh Allen, so that's what that's coming from.
I thought he had it.
Dude, it's like,
Did you think he had it?
I don't know.
I think he had it too.
That's the problem. We don't know.
We don't
It's
know.
one of the biggest plays of the season. We don't fucking know. There's no excuse.
But you know, the thing is this, it's like, I was always taught and I always believe, don't put it in the refs' hands.
Don't put it in their hands. Right.
Like
yeah.
Josh, you 240 pounds.
Yeah.
Like,
Or-
man, like,
Or Kincaid pick up the first down on
you see what I'm
third down.
saying?
You know
Like,
what I mean? Like, you
it's
know.
just, and people forget what put you in those positions.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about these other plays leading up to it so we wouldn't have to worry about Josh trying to get it, even though it's inches.
Harry's, man. What would I have done without Harry's this week? For a guy that looked at his Aura ring at some point and it said 3 hours, 20 minutes of sleep with 20 minutes of REM sleep. Like, I did that for 3 nights. So to wake up and get some of that face, that eye cream, man, like
Eye cooling
Oh, the eye cooling stick is unbelievable. I felt better immediately, and I didn't look like shit. You know, you get the puffing, the swelling. You got to bring that down. I got a facial massage tool. The thing did wonders for me. Pro tip: put the cooling eye kit in the fridge or the freezer for best results. Use both in the morning and at night for long-term benefits. I did forget to apply it at 5 a.m., but I definitely used it in the morning. So grab yourself a cooling eye kit from our good friends at Harry's and get ready for whatever the day has in store for you. Oh, Lovesack. Oh my God. I was sitting on a Lovesack couch last night. We had our Lovesack lounge. Our studio was hooked up. Airbnb furnished with Lovesack. Amazing setup. We had Sactionals, bean bags. One of them Barry Sanders sat on. Like, just came in the house and like just plopped down on the beanbag, and then Nate walked over with a trading card and was like, "Hey, will you sign this?"
And he signed it, bro.
He's so nice. Barry Sanders is the nicest guy, dude.
The greatest.
Stealth Tech is a system that features premium sound and wireless charging. They got that in their furniture. You can control it with a remote. with sound by Harman Kardon. Everybody knows Harman Kardon is like the gold standard. You know that, Macon.
Yeah.
Lovesac's Stealth Tech sound and charge has transformed the living room experience for all consumers and pushes the bounds of at-home entertainment. It's a couch designed with love, and I feel it every time I sit down in one. With the surround sound, you didn't know what you were missing, man. And so shout out to Lovesac.
Who was the guy? I mean, I know you got back there and had some sacks, but like, who was the guy that was tough to get on the ground? Like, who was the guy in your day and age?
Big Ben.
Yo, I knew
Big
it,
Ben.
Yeah.
Big Ben.
He could extend the play.
Man, Big Ben was big.
Yeah.
He would make
Just
throws
stand-
with people
Yeah,
draped all
Big
over
Ben
him.
Big Ben was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a big guy and just younger Ben, like he'll move around. Like like you say, he would
Yeah.
extend plays and it's to touch him is like, oh my gosh, this is a lineman that
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah, Big Ben was that guy.
Nah, yeah. The one I wanted to ask you about was Randy Moss. Was he 07?
Yes.
What was it like playing with Randy? Because
Man,
I've
that's-
heard some classic stories
Let me
about
tell
Randy.
you something. That Randy is like my brother, and one of the most amazing human beings you'll ever meet if
Yeah.
you know him.
Yeah.
And I think Randy University kind of gave people an idea of why he was the way he was, But you talking about a sweetheart,
Yeah.
you would be laughing, like constantly laughing.
All day.
Great teammate.
Hell yeah.
We never had no issues out of Randy.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Very, very, very smart. And he was just a great teammate. And I got a chance to know him over time. Like I said, that's like my brother. Like we
Yeah.
talk. We just went on vacation this past year. So it's like his family, my family, we're family.
Yeah.
But Randy, you would love Randy. You would love Kevin Falk. Like I had some amazing teammates.
Yeah.
Man. Like I can't, Chad came over. Chad funny as hell.
Chad
Like,
Brown?
Ocho.
Oh, you talking about Ocho?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was funny as
Yeah.
hell. Like Bill loved him.
Talk
like,
about charisma. He's
dude, we had some characters
Yeah.
in that locker room.
That's what people don't realize. There's a lot of fun dudes.
Oh, yeah.
in the locker room.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
what you said is true. Like it is a different way of doing business sometimes. But the guys, man,
It's
like
the guys.
it's a collection of winners, man.
Yep.
Yeah, because you can't be there if you're not a winner.
Man, look here. Like I had in all my teams between Houston and New England, I had probably two players that I cared less about.
Yeah.
And the team felt the same way. So it ain't just me singling these
Right.
guys out.
Usually that's the way it
It's
is.
just two.
Yeah.
Just out of 13 years, just two.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I love my team.
Yeah,
like
that's
we
crazy.
always had a great time. And the two guys, it's like one was a defensive player and one was an offensive player that they just did not fit.
They weren't buying in.
No, they did not fit.
Yeah.
And that's it.
People at home want me to ask who, but I'm not going to do it.
Oh yeah. But I tell you what,
Smart.
it's not Aaron. I tell you, it's not Hernandez.
No. Did
And
you play
because
with
people,
him?
because people would think, oh, he talk about no, it wasn't Aaron.
No, people said he was like
Aaron was
when he was
awesome.
on, everybody was like, man, what
Aaron
a
was
sweetheart.
awesome.
Like I heard that
Yeah, he was
term.
a great
like,
man. He was a great person. Like we never had no issues out of Aaron. Like he fit Aaron. He fit in. But these two guys I'm talking about, they were just so different.
Yeah.
They didn't we're not, like nah.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite thing about the Super Bowl that we won. Is like you always, when you win a Super Bowl, you have these great teams. Like you always have those guys, and you have that bonding moment. You know what I mean? And that's the cool thing. You come back here, you chop it up with the old teammates.
Yeah,
and
So
man.
the cool thing about ours was like nobody with y'all's groups, everybody had been there, battle hardened, knew what it was about. Like we didn't know what it was about.
Make it more sweet.
Yeah.
It made it kind of cool, because I had just come from New England where I had seen that side of it.
Yep.
And certainly there were things the next year where I was like, we should do this fucking thing that New England
Right.
We're having too much fun. Or,
Right.
We're fucking around. But it was cool to like win it with a group that just didn't know any better,
Yeah.
which can make a team dangerous.
Yes.
It certainly can.
And and another guy was one of the greatest teammates of all time was Junior Seau.
Oh, yeah. I've heard amazing things
oh
about
my
Junior.
gosh, man, Junior, man, that was sad because we never seen it.
Right.
Because we always saw the smile. We seen the happy guy. We seen him, and Junior would sit at his locker and play his guitar.
Yeah.
Like that was his pastime. Like in camp, everybody want to rest him. Like he'll sit in his locker and play the guitar. Just play
They
the
said
guitar.
he was like a man's man. Like he was just he was like a
walk barefooted.
Yeah.
Shorts on backwards.
Yeah.
He's always ready to play. He's always running around.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in practice. It's like he's 18. Just run. And like another, legend that I played with that was like, man, I grew up watching this guy, and now he's my teammate. I'm talking to him, and we playing, we joking, and those are things I remember the most when it comes down to it. It's like the guys I played with, in the history books, like a Junior, like a Randy Moss, like a Tom Brady, like a Rodney. Now Vrabel, he's a head coach. So we went to war.
But you got to see who they really were.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the junior thing, man, and we've all had these experiences with former teammates and stuff where you just didn't see whatever it was coming. And did that change the way you looked out for former teammates? Not that anybody could have changed anything.
Wellness check, man.
Yeah, wellness
because
check.
you never know what somebody's going through.
Boy,
you don't know what somebody on their mind. You don't know where they at mentally.
Yeah.
So I always, after all of that, I always check on my brothers. Like, wellness check, everybody good.
Yeah.
What's going on? If I see a person or a player looking a certain way, act a certain way, you pull them to the side, man, you okay? Everything all good. And let them talk to you, open up, because even Aaron, I remember and I was in the locker room one night, and it had to be about like 11 o'clock at night, and it's just one of those nights where, I couldn't sleep. My body was aching. I think I was dealing with like an ankle or something. So I went to the stadium at night just to get in the hot tubs and all that stuff. And Aaron,
I did that a few times.
right?
There.
So you get me, right? And Aaron was there. It was me and him, and we was in the hot tub, and we were just chalking up, and we were talking about life. And it was right before, I think his daughter was about to be born, or she was just born.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, he said, Vince, I want to be a better person. I want to be a great father. And he started crying. He said, I just want to be the best I possibly can be for my daughter. He said, but life get hard. And we sat there for an hour and two, and we just talked. And this is midnight now.
Yeah.
It's me and him just talking, but so much pain that he had going on that he didn't have an outlet.
Right.
But in that moment, I was his outlet.
Yeah.
And I felt I was there for him in that moment.
Yep.
I wish I could, and we had other people that can be with him outside. Because when he was in the locker room, he was good.
It was around the thing that made him probably feel the best.
Yeah. When he was around us, Aaron was good. It's when he left that building, and it was a different lifestyle that he was living.
Yeah.
Got him, And I just remember that day so vividly. It's like, man, he was crying out for help but didn't know how to ask for it.
Right.
But when he was in the locker room, we gave it to him. We had those conversations. Man, you're going to be good. You're going to be a great father. Your wife, y'all going to be good, man. As long as you got us. And I seen a different side of him. So that was sad with him because I know the type of person he was.
He could be at
he
least.
was just fighting a demon that he didn't have the help that he needed at that time. When he leave the building, he's going and hanging out and doing all this dumb stuff with everybody else, and nobody really looked out for him outside of that. His brothers was in that building. Mm-hmm. And the more we can check on our family and our brothers and sisters and just like, hey, man, we are here. We can sit and we can talk, but being a man, a lot of times we don't want to talk about our feelings.
No question, but a lot of it is like you said, like if nobody asks, nobody's going to volunteer.
So
it.
it's like, no,
I'm not going to walk
to
up to my teammate and be like, "Hey, I'm fucking struggling."
Right?
Like out of the blue.
You're not to do that. We macho.
Yeah.
Like we superhumans. Like we superheroes. Like we gladiators.
Yeah.
Like we can't be soft.
Yeah.
We can't be vulnerable. We can't be emotional. We can't. And it's so wrong. It's so far from the truth. And I tell people all the time, a real man cry.
Hell yeah.
A real man cry. A real man ask for help. Hey, I need you.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my wife quick, I need you.
Yeah.
Hey, I need a hug.
Yeah.
I need a kiss. I need physical touch. I need that.
Yeah.
I'm not one of the ones that sit here because I've been down that road before where I was mad at the world, resentful with everybody, and I was just a mad individual.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from my childhood, losing my parents so young. I didn't know how to cope with it, so I just let it be.
Yeah.
So I had a lot built up in me. I never learned those traits like, no, So I tell my wife, man, look here. I need you, hug me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she'll tell you, I don't care what you're doing. Come here. I need a hug. Like, I don't feel
Closed
good
mouths
today.
don't get fed.
I want a hug from Vince. You know?
But it's teaching us that it's okay to ask for that because we are human. We're gonna need it, and when you realize, and when you start asking for it and you get it, you'll feel a lot better because guess what? I know at the end of the day, I can go to my wife and tell her what I need, and she's gonna give it to me.
Yeah.
I know there's one person I could break down, take my cape off. I could take my cape off in my castle.
But it's everything that made us who we were that makes it hard to do that.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the better we got at what we did, the harder it is to do that thing.
Yeah, but see,
And I think it gets harder in retirement, which is why you see so many guys struggle.
Yes.
Because of isolation.
But that's why I try to tell people, man, look, don't be afraid. Especially, my home is my castle.
Yeah.
You know, I can be Superman to the public. When I'm out, my cape is on. You will never know. You understand? You never know what I've got going on. You never know. But when I come home, I'm dropping everything at the door because that's my sanctuary.
Yeah.
You know, I'm coming home to my queen. You know, I'm coming home to the one person that can see me bare knuckle.
Yeah.
She can see me naked. I'm coming home to that person and telling that person, hey, this is what I need.
Yeah.
I'm not Vince, the football player. I'm Vincent Lamar Wilfork. That's who I am.
It's two different people.
Yes, it is.
It's got to be two different people.
have
If you
to.
try to be a damn football player every minute of the day or the rest of your life, and I don't mean like you're getting in a fucking 3-point stance
Right.
at all. What I mean is exactly what we're talking about. If you don't allow yourself to be a little softer, a little more open, a little bit, then you're gonna struggle.
You're going to struggle. And I had to learn, because I used to take my work home. And I used to go home and I used to be pissed off about whatever Bill might say or what's a play. I used to be pissed off, and the first thing I do, I come see my kids. They just happy to see daddy, and then all of a sudden they scared of daddy because daddy got this look on his face.
Yeah.
And it broke me down.
Hell yeah.
And I learned right then and there. It broke me down. When my daughter saw me and just started crying, I'm like, what's wrong, baby? You mad at me. You mean. I'm like, oh, shit. Whoa.
That was one of the hardest things my dad said growing up was, and now I understood it when I played, was like taking work home.
Yeah.
And, you know, for him in the 80s, where he wasn't getting paid like I was getting paid, and he was, you know, getting out of the mud, and, you know, it was 80s Raiders, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember him coming home and being fucking stressed and all that shit and how uneasy it could make you feel. And he's been real open about that. Like, I wish I could have kept it a little bit more separate.
Yeah.
And, you know, I took that with me when I played. And I'm glad I did, but it's still fucking hard.
It's hard.
It's still hard today.
It's
There'll
hard.
be shit, and it's no different. Football is just one chapter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
You can't approach your
life
daily
doesn't
life.
just all of a sudden get easy.
The same mentality that you had playing football does not serve you in retirement.
I think sports psychology should be like a must. Like, have a sports psychologist or a psychologist in every fucking building in the NFL.
I agree.
Yes.
You know, and
I agree.
I know there's some people that think this is some soft talk or whatever, but you know that I don't want to. I need to be able to put my armor back on and get out on the field. And
and like I say, you know, when I get home, I drop that armor, but when I enter the world, that armor is on. You know, that's just so I had to learn how to do that because I don't want my kids mad at me or upset or crying and don't want to come to that. No, we're not doing that.
How many kids you got?
4.
4?
Aren't you going to be? I heard you're going to be a grandfather.
I am,
soon.
man. I got a 5-month-old baby girl, and I got a 2-week
Yeah.
baby girl.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
You're
and I got a
really
5-year-old. I got a
young,
5-year-old son.
Keeping you
5-year-old
young.
grandson. Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah, I got my babies, man, and like I said, we just came from Florida with them, and man, it's the best feeling in the world.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it changes you. It changes you, and it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's just to see, and I'm like, man, now I can raise you little rats how I want to raise you because I'm not playing. You know.
Yeah.
When I had my other ones, I was playing, so it was like daddy was working, daddy was home. But now it's like, man, I'm gonna pour everything I possibly can.
Do you want your kids to play? Is that something that you've thought about?
My son is a baseball player. My oldest son,
Right.
he tried it, but it wasn't his deal.
Were you relieved?
Yeah, but you know, I was like, I would support anything they want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be that hypocrite where I play football. You can't play football. Like,
Right.
no, I'm not going to do that. If you really love the game, I would tell you and I would teach you about it. And this is how you want to play it because this is my sport and this is. But if you don't want to play it and you want to be, you know, whatever you want to be in life, I'm going to support it.
Yeah.
So My son, he's a baseball player. He like baseball. My son is 6'3", and he's almost 200 pounds, 15.
Damn.
He hits the ball pretty fucking far, I bet.
Motherfucker got a bat.
Smart. Dude.
He's a bat. He got
And like
a
we were
bat.
talking before we got on, guaranteed money.
Yeah,
You
you play for 20 years and walk away with a ton of fucking money.
The clubhouse is sick.
Yeah,
Like,
you know, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with my son doing whatever he want to do. You don't have to follow in my footsteps. But my son is he's so independent. He's brilliant. He got a 140 IQ, so he is like,
golly.
Yeah, he look at
Got that from his mother, huh?
Man, look at he's like a genius. Like,
What the fuck does the scale go to?
Yeah, I don't fucking know. That's big enough. Guys. See, that's all I know. It's big enough, but that's him.
So he's not going to Miami.
You're doing something.
No, he like fuck Miami.
Hey, the Miami thing, we were talking about going all the way back because you guys played Nebraska, right, in the national championship? Was everybody kind of like, did everybody know that they were all on steroids?
Who, Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Yeah, we knew, but it was like we knew we had them beat when you know how you do these functions together. And we
I remember the function.
Yeah, we was at this. We was at like the Disney, and they were walking and looking at us like they seen God.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we knew we was gonna beat the fuck out of them when we saw that. Like, we knew that.
I mean, you had some dogs on that team.
Yeah, you did.
Like, well, what a cast of characters.
Yeah, we had. The list is long, man. And the one thing I'm proud of is the career we had in the NFL. We had a longevity in the NFL with these guys, and those are my brothers, man. That's like a family you would never get rid of. I don't care if you played in the 70s or you played in 2020. Like, we are all the same when we get together.
It's the best college football team of all time.
All time, hands down.
Is there anyone on that team that when you were a freshman, right? That was 2001. Mm-hmm. A lot of maniacs on that team. Anyone that you were just afraid of.
Oh, so
like you did not fuck with them.
I know Shockey was crazy.
Crazy.
No.
But not scary because he's a tight end.
Yeah.
No, there was nobody on there that I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker crazy.
But it kind of helps to be.
Maybe it was you.
Oh, you know what? No. So no. This is what it was. I wasn't afraid of him. I looked up to him. Al Blaze. Al Blaze was that guy. He was Al Blaze. God bless the dead. Al Blaze. He reminded me so much of Rodney, but he was just 10 times Rodney because he was just fucking wired.
Yeah.
Differently.
Yeah.
Like, man,
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, so I came out of college. I'm high school 2000, right? I had to sit out the 6 months. So I set up my 6 months, and then I entered in December, so I was allowed to go to the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
All right, that year we went to the Sugar Bowl, played Florida. So it's a fight. We in the club. I'm hanging out with my brother. We in the club, and some stuff scuffled up, so they kicked us out. So we have guys everywhere. I mean, some at the casino, some down at this club, some at this bar, some everywhere. Now, mind you, we had basically the whole Gators team like against us, and it was only like a couple of us. So word got back like what was going on. So we all outside, and Al, he walks through the crowd of Gators, and he was like, any MF want to deal with us, you can deal with me. And he's just walking through everybody, pushing them, everything, just walking through the whole crowd. Nobody did anything. So next thing you know, a fight break out. Yeah. It wasn't Al, though. It was a fight break out. So now it's a brawl on Bourbon Street.
Ooh.
It's a brawl, like big brawl. And man, we win at it. The funniest thing about it was we get back to the hotel room, the cops take us back, and and Butch Davis at the time.
Yeah.
Because he gave us the speech, don't go around and get your asses in trouble, blah, blah, blah. So we get back to the hotel. So Butch having a meeting with us. What the fuck going on? So Al, he's like, look, coach, this is what happened. Woo, 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 woo. So Butch was like, okay, well, did you kick their ass?
He wanted to ask you right away.
Yeah, he's like, well, did you kick their ass? He's like,
man.
yeah. So we didn't do no more functions together, and that was the start of the day.
So I think y'all did.
Oh yeah.
Was there anybody you remember from that fight that then you played in the NFL?
Yeah.
You'd see him once a year.
Yeah, I seen. But it was a defensive player, and we spoiled him up pretty good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we spoiled him up pretty good.
Don't tell me it was Alex Brown. That's why I wore 13. Oh, it was Alex Brown.
I didn't say that.
Wow.
I didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
I didn't say that. That's what you said.
He gave me a look like I remember Alex Brown. It wasn't a look like I whooped Alex Brown.
We.
But that's some old school football shit.
Yeah.
Where you just
No cell phones, just vibes.
Nah, man. We just.
I remember we got in a big fight with the Cowboys in Oxnard because we used to go there for camp.
Yeah.
And we whooped their fucking ass. There was a dude that he was knocked out twice in the same fight. It was crazy. And he's a well-known player. Okay? Don't say any names. I'm not going to give any look.
Tony Brown.
But when we got on the bus, we were like, is Fish, because Jeff Fisher was our coach, like, is he going to be mad? Like, when we got back to the hotel ballroom, he had 6 coolers of beers. And he's like, y'all whoop their mother. He started throwing beers. He goes, you got the afternoon off. I love it. Man, this is just, I mean, the NFL is not the same anymore.
No, it's not, man. But that's the thing we can take away from it. It's like what we've been through and guys we met and ran into this. The game has changed so much, but I cherish every minute of everything and everybody I played with, man. It's just a good feeling, the brotherhood that you have forever.
Yeah.
So one guy that you're probably brothers with, Mike Vrabel, who I've never met, but I'm a big fan of his. And now he's back in New England. Yeah. I've heard he's the ultimate asshole in a good way.
Yes.
Like, I guess if you're on his team, it's a good thing.
Yes.
Describe what makes Vrabel go.
Well, Vrabel, he give 2 fucks about how you feel.
Yeah.
But the one thing about him is he's smart. He's very knowledgeable of the game.
Yeah.
He understands the game. He's an alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Well respected. Everything about him is, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it at the top of the level. If you're not on, you out of here.
Yeah.
You can't. If you're not willing to put in this work, and you're not able to be dedicated to what we're doing, you don't belong here. I'm just telling you straight up, and he would tell you.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you. That's what I'm just being honest with you. Yeah. If you don't want to do and perform the way you need, I'll find somebody to replace you.
Yeah.
He'll be very blunt with you and tell you straight up what we need from you, what you need to do, and if it's not good enough, I'm gonna tell you got to go. I'm gonna cut you.
Sounds like a good communicator.
Oh, it's straight to the point. He's not for the fucker off. He's not for the beat around the bush. He ain't for the no, but he's a great teacher.
Yeah,
a great teacher. So I had the luxury to play with him and play up under him when he was in Houston, the linebacker coach. But I knew since I played with him, he was like a coach on the field.
Well, he's not the most talented. He's talented. We're all talented. But, like, there's a scale of, like, God-given talent in the NFL. And, I mean, he's a talented guy, but he was a hell of a player. Yeah. And so, like, I feel like those guys make great coaches because they really have to
They know how to get it out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they got it out of themselves.
It's technique, and that's what Vrabel was, how he played. Vrabel was like Tom. Up here, he just had it. Yeah. And he's seen the game from a coach's point of view. Yeah. You know, he's 3-4 steps ahead of you. That's how he's playing the game. Yeah. You know, and I just know a lot of times we went in and he was like, okay, Vince, we're going to do it like this. Mm-hmm. We're not going to run this game. We're going to run this game because this is why. And he would be right. Yeah. Bill would never say nothing to him because he'll go to the sideline and if Bill say something, I fucking got it, Bill. And just walk away. Like, I got it, Bill. Yeah. He don't care. Yeah. Like, no, because he always tried to put us in the best scenario as possible. That's how he was. And that's how we played. So Bill really never questioned him, honestly. And then him and Bill will go back and forth, and he'll tell Bill how he feel, respectful-wise. Right. But he'll tell you, like, the coordinators, he would jump down their neck. Like, man, get the F out of here. That you suck. You should have called this because this, that. Like.
But he really knew why.
Yeah. He knew why.
Which scares a coach a little bit. Unless you're Bill and you know everything anyways.
It's like, oh, shit.
How funny was that when he was coaching against Bill in the playoffs and he started trick dicking
There you go. There you go. It's like he knew the rules.
Like back on the field.
Yeah. He knew the rules.
Yeah, he was waiting for that one his whole life.
He knew the rules, right?
Smart this motherfucker.
But that should tell everybody the type of coach you're getting in New England. Like, he outsmarted the smart. Yeah. He did. And I think he's going to do very well for New England. Now, it's going to take some pieces to put together, but that's part of the game. He got a quarterback. Now it's building around and stuff. So
It's nice.
I'm excited to see how you're going to roll.
Everybody listen at home, man. I hope you enjoyed this. Vince is he's a legend, man, and we all enjoyed watching you play from days in New England to seeing you in the overalls, and now
yes, sir.
Now you got the Kingsford deal. So appreciate you coming by, man.
Thank you guys for having me. This was pretty awesome, man. So we got to do it some more this year coming up, man.
Right.
Hell yeah.
I'm all with it. I'm for it. He's outside. Okay. We outside. Oh man.
We'll get this going for you here in a second. We actually have it just holding for you. We're gonna finish these wings up, but we've
I
actually.
like this looking coxswain right here, man.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes, man.
So this is super cool. General approach with a rib. So like you know all about smoke rib, right? Have you done grilled rib?
Open grill?
Like open grill style grilled rib.
Yeah, long time ago. Yeah, long time ago.
Okay.
I haven't done it in a long time.
Well, what I love about it is it just like a smoke rib, 6 hours, 5 hours prep. These, we didn't even bother removing the silver skin like you normally would, like when you smoke a rib.
Yep.
But we're going directly over the charcoal in the fire, building that crust and the caramelization across, so you actually have the Maillard reaction that takes place on every single side of the rib, and that's where you kind of get that really elevated like rib experience that you traditionally take like 6-7 hours to
Really?
smoke rib. What we do with the sauce, we have a beer, so we make a beer barrel aged hot sauce, and then we harvest our maple from northern Michigan. We ship our bourbon barrels to northern Michigan, and then we age. There's only 3 people that have access to this orchard, myself and 2 other 3 Michelin star chefs.
Let me taste it.
Taste it. It's literally, so that maple syrup is in Alinea Group in Chicago, which is regularly regarded as the best restaurant in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
Look at that, baby. All right. Well, tri-tip.
Yes, sir. Juicy enough? And then look at just like this breakdown of this, like of the fats that are in there. So you have the just like collagen and the fats that are just all breaking apart, super tender.
Give me that.
Is it good?
Right?
It's that Kingsford charcoal. That's right. I got a fresh one for you.
Let me tell you
Ready?
something, boy. This is nice. This
So
is
have
the
you had
setup
tri-tip
back
before?
here, boy. This
Okay,
is it
so-
right here.